Rangers celebrate their supposed victory.
We did it! We saved the world! The Power Rangers are over!
Oh, good one, Max. With the realization that their battle is over, the Rangers ponder what to do now.
I wonder what we're all gonna do with the Power Rangers over.
We'll do what anybody does. We'll go on living.
However, in the rubble of the Nexus, a glowing object called an Org Heart emerges, and Master Org's vines start encompassing the city. Master Org appears, mutated.
Hello, Rangers. Remember me? It's I, Master Org. It's so good to see you again.
The Rangers go into fight, but he walks through them, the group not landing a single shot on him. He even destroys Cole's Battleizer in a single stroke and grows without any peanuts. Oh, and then Animus comes back. No sparkles or glows or anything, he just appears out of nowhere. Shayla tells the Rangers to withdraw, but Merrick stays behind to help Animus, regretting how he failed to help Animus in the battle 3,000 years before. However, Master Org is too powerful and smashes the Predazord, actually destroying their animal crystals. What's worse, Merrick's morpher vanishes and Animus reverts to Kite. Before Master Org can kill the two, the Animarium flies down and rams Master Org, teleporting the two up to it. Kite dies and evaporates into sparkles. Wow, on-screen human child death this time. With his new powers, Master Org teleports himself onto the Animarium. He kills the Falcon Zord and the Rangers morph, rallying the Wild Zords to defend the Animarium. The Wild Zords fight valiantly and blast Master Org apart, but thanks to the Org Heart powering him, he reforms. All of the Wild Zords are killed one by one, even the original 5. The Rangers as morphers vanish, and Master Org plunges his sword into the Animarium, cracking it and forcing it to start free-falling. The Putrids land in force as the city is encompassed in rain, normal plant life quickly dying off. Part 1 ends with the Animarium falling and the Rangers clinging to the ground. The Animarium crashes back into the original lake that it rose from. The Rangers, seeing Master Org walking through the city, decide to charge in without their powers. The 6 go through the Putrids, putting up a good fight, but without their powers, they're simply outgunned. Cole gets to have his big hero moment as he rips off his team jacket and saves a little kid from the Putrids, Tarzan style. Seeing Cole still fighting, the Rangers get their second wind and once again kicks an ass. Taylor even retrieves Cole's jacket for him. Cole tries to swing at Master Org, but he just gets slapped away. You know, he never quite mastered that whole charging at the big monster thing. Master Org tells them it's hopeless without their powers.
We may not be Power Rangers anymore, and our Wild Zords may be gone, but their spirits still live inside us. I am Cole Evans, blazing light.
We have one thing you Orcs will never have. A heart. Alyssa and Relay. Noble Tiger.
That's one thing you can never take away from us. Taylor Earhart. Soaring Eagle.
And we're still Guardians of the Earth. Max Cooper. Sergeant Sharp. And we will never ever give up. Danny Delgado. Iron Bison. We'll fight with every last breath in us to save the world. I am Merrick Militone. Howling Wolf. Guardians of the Earth. United we roar.
Very touching. But I am Master Org, and I will make you extinct, just like the Wild Zords.
However, the clouds suddenly break as the Wild Sword spirits emerge from the sky, including the remaining Wild Swords that the group hadn't found. Their crystals are reformed along with their powers.
Master Org, your evil ends here. Ultra Roar.
Using their weapons, they slice the Org Heart in half, destroying him and finally bringing an end to the Orgs. The Wild Zords all return to the Animarium, and Princess Shayla tells us that it's sadly time for her to leave.
I'm going to take the Wild Zords and the Animarium up into the sky where they'll be safe. Until the Earth needs them once again.
She then asks them to give up their jackets and morphers. Okay, this is bullcrap. The morphers I understand, but you're asking for the jackets back? That is bullcrap. It's a freaking jacket. Are the powers dependent on them or something? Bah.
As long as the spirit of the Earth is alive in your hearts, you will always be Power Rangers. Goodbye, my friends.
Random narrator returns, only now it's a woman.
And so the princess took the animarium back into the sky where she still sleeps, waiting for the day when the Earth needs her and the Wild Zords once again.
Perhaps you will finally know peace as well.
After Cole made his peace with Dr. Adler, he continued to use his skills to help animals wherever he went. Taylor returned to the Air Force, where she was given a hero's welcome by the younger pilots.
What happened to you? I mean, some say you landed on an island in the sky. Is that true?
Yeah, kind of like in a fairy tale. An island in the sky. Sounds like you guys are reading too many children's stories.
Max and Danny decided to go on a long vacation and see the world. Merrick wandered the globe searching for his next adventure, along with an unlikely companion from his past.
Where are you going?
I go wherever the wind takes me.
You could use some company.
My path is to walk alone. I still have much to atone for.
You and I have a lot in common. You're not the only lone wolf looking for redemption.
Follow me if you must. I won't stop you.
Well then, lead the way. Old friend.
So from then on, the Earth was free from orgs, and all of the Power Rangers went on to live peaceful, happy lives.
But what happened to Alyssa, the White Ranger?
Oh, how could I forget? Alyssa finished college and went on to become a teacher.
Like you?
Like me.
Is that true, Miss Enrile, or did you just make it all up?
What do you think?
Power Rangers Wild Force gets a very mixed reaction from the fans, and it's easy to see why. While plenty of previous seasons have had their own environmental messages to them, some more overt than others, the Animus arc really comes off as condescending and patronizing. Furthermore, the acting isn't exactly up to par with those that had come before. A lot of dialogue just coming off as clunky even when spoken seriously. As a personal theory, I wonder if there wasn't also an attempt to market it to really little kids, considering the number of child actors in this season, all of them terrible actors, that seem to be kindergarten or first grade age. The story of the Animarium is told as a children's story, and it ends with Alyssa telling the full story to equally young and annoying children. Sure, Power Rangers is a kids' show, but I'd like to think that the age group for the show had at least gotten past finger painting. As for the acting, I actually thought the first half of the season was going pretty well acting-wise. Taylor is obviously the best of the bunch, able to display a full range of emotions and make pretty much all of her dialogue work. The others, it seems like a problem is that it's written for much younger actors than who we actually have. These are supposed to be roughly college-age Rangers, but the dialogue feels at times like it's for middle school or junior high characters. Behind the scenes, it becomes clear that not all of the acting was the fault of the actors. Jonathan Zacher was a huge fan of the original Sentai shows, to the point where he was insisting that more and more of the storylines in Power Rangers should match those of the original Sentai. Which, from what I hear, Gal Ranger, the series Wild Force was based on, was not that great. However, Zacher's love of the Sentai shows had him actually bring in several Japanese directors who had worked on those shows, many of whom did not speak English. It really goes a long way to explain Cole's dialogue quirks after reinforcements from the future. For example, there's this classic bit.
I don't know much about spaceships or this machine empire, but I will go wherever I must to protect the Earth.
Now imagine if